Yo, what's up? This is your boy, Oaghaji. That's right, it's Oaghaji, aka Oaghaji, and I'm back with another video. Yeah, I should have done this yesterday, but I was like tired and stuff like that and things of that nature. So I have to let me just do this when I'm fully charged up and whatnot. So, especially in this nice morning, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I'm back with another review. And today's review is going to be on the 1969 Jidaigeki samurai film classic, Goyokin, starring Tatsuya Nakadai, Kinnosuke Nakamura, Tetsuro Tanba, Yoko Tsukasa, Ruriko Asaoka, and Isao Natsuyagi, and directed by the awesome Hideo Gosha. Now, this is a film that I've always wanted to do a review on, you know what I'm saying? And luckily I get the chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into more of this review, let's talk about the synopsis of the plot. I'm gonna read the synopsis of the film in the back of this awesome DVD right here, courtesy of SamuraiDVD.com. If y'all want to get this movie and other classic samurai films that and ninja films from Japan that you've never heard of, I highly recommend y'all going to SamuraiDVD.com and purchase those films. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Now, Magobe Wakazaka returns to the site of a past massacre to seek revenge. The clan he abandoned, ruled by his former brother-in-law, plots another massacre of defenseless villagers as part of a plot to steal gold meant for the shogunate. Protecting the lone woman survivor of the previous massacre, Magobe endures a great amount of punishment to atone for the sins of his clan. Into the mix comes Master Swordsman Samon Fujimaki, who seems to know more than he should. Originally planned as the fifth Yojimbo movie, Toshiro Mifune backed out of the project due to the extreme cold of location filming and his inability to get along with Gosha. Well, which is a pretty surprise if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the story, the characters, as well as the acting. To me, the story is pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that we have Oroni, wanting to who abandoned the clan and decided to return to atone for the sins of his to atone for his sins and atone for the sins of his clan, which is pretty not nice. You know, Mago Bay is a pretty cool character, especially played by the awesome Tatsuya Nakadai. Tatsuya Nakadai did a very good job in playing the character of Makobe, I would say. And I also like Tetsuro Tamba's performance as the brother-in-law. You know what I'm saying, and his dynamic. He saw he like I said, they were family, they were close, but due to the actions of Tetsuro Tamba's character and the things with Magobe, he saw, you know what, I'm gonna dip out. I can't do this. Now, I don't want to say too much about the story because that'll be spoilers, and I want y'all to watch this film for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not gonna say too much about the story because I don't want to get into spoilers. Um, everyone did their job. The characters are pretty good, especially the sole female survivor of the massacre, which is nice. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, Kinnosuke Nakamura, who plays Samon Fujimaki, he did a pretty good job. I think that's the guy who played Fujimaki. I think correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's the case. But anyway, to me, the story definitely gets a 5 out of 5. The characters a 4.5 out of 5, and the acting gets a solid 5 out of 5. Let's talk about the action, cinematography, and the editing, and maybe the lighting too. The action in this film, the fight choreography in this film is just solid. It's some classic, awesome Chambara samurai film action. It's some classic samurai film action at its finest, especially in the late 1960s. Excuse me. I also like how, like I said, I like how the fight scenes were shot. I also like how the entire film was shot as a whole, especially filmed in the cold, like snow. You know what I'm saying? It's very atmospheric, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like about it. The first fight scene in the film with Magobe, played by Nakadai, it's just solid. He was able to handle the the two these three samurai, with ease, with his awesome kenjutsu skills, his swordsmanship skills. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. The lighting in this film, it's pretty good for what it delivered for 1969 standards in Japan. You know what I'm saying, and which I definitely respect. Like I said, the film, like I said, it's beautifully shot, not only for the action, but just for the entire, film. The locations and all that stuff. The perspective of the characters being filmed pretty well, especially with Makobe played by Nakadai, Tetsuro Tanba's character, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So the fight choreography slash action definitely gets a 5 out of 5. Um, Cinematography 5 out of 5, and lighting as the four gets definitely get a 4 out of 5. Now let's talk about the music. The music is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It has a mixture of like some orchestra and classical Japanese music, which I like. And in the final fight scene, the music fitted pretty well during the climax, which is nice. I don't want to give that away, but once you watch that final fight between Tatsuya Nakadai and Tetsuro Tamba at the end, you'll see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But so the music definitely gets a 5 out of 5 in my opinion. Overall, Goyokin is a dope ass, awesome Jidaigeki samurai film that I highly, highly recommend. You know what I'm saying? Especially as an introduction to the samurai films of the late 1960s, especially 1969. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Goyokin gets a 5 out of 5 tops. Hopefully y'all enjoy this review because I definitely enjoy making it. You know what I'm saying? So if you like this review, you can like it, share it, and all that good stuff. Especially on YouTube. Next up, I'm going to review Monkey Kung Fu from 1979. Yep, that's right. Not Mad Monkey Kung Fu with directed by the late great Lao Garland, but this Monkey Kung Fu with Ching Sudong. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned for that. So with all that being said, this is your boy Oaghaji, aka Oaghaji, signing out. Peace.